Hello everybody and welcome. Today we're going to be doing some more speed reading exercises. Why? Because we want to stay sharp. And I am especially excited today because we actually added 2 new people to our team. So I'm excited about that, and I'm excited that I could spend some time with all of you here on YouTube. And again, let us know in the comments. The reason we're doing this video is partially because we've had requests from people in our YouTube audience to do more of these guided exercise videos. So what we're going to do today is a little bit different from before. It's going to be a 2x speed drill. That means we're going to be reading first, and then we're going to skim what we just read at double our normal rate. So if you want to skip ahead, you're welcome to, because our first exercise, we're going to read at 300 words per minute. So if that's weak sauce and you're like, I'm already reading at 400, you can skip ahead. In the description below, I've timestamped where you can jump to 400 or 500 words per minute. But we're going to read at 300 and then drill at 600. And then we're going to read at 400, drill at 800. And then we're going to read at 500 and drill at 1,000. By the way, I should make a distinction for those of you not already aware that when I say we're going to read, I mean for comprehension, or as much comprehension as we can get. And then, of course, when we're doing the drill, it's more like skimming. We already read this article. We're just skimming over it at double the normal speed. Why do we do this? Because if we can drill at speeds that are double our normal rate, eventually our reading speed is going to start elevating and getting higher and higher with comprehension. So the best way I like to compare this is to the experience of driving on the highway. We all know when we've been on the highway for a while, and so long as there isn't traffic, let's say you're going 70, 80 miles per hour. Eventually you get off the highway. And how does it feel when you get off the highway? Doesn't it feel kind of slow? Why? Because you got used to going 80. So now 40 feels very, very slow in a 20-mile-an-hour school zone. So that's actually a concept called velocitization. We want to kind of mimic that with these drills. So this is like being on the highway. If we get used to seeing words at 600 words a minute, then eventually 400 is going to be like, that doesn't feel that fast anymore. Now, if we're reading already at 400, we practice at 800, so that eventually we get off the highway, and now we're going maybe 500, and it doesn't feel that fast because we got used to practicing at higher rates. This is actually the underlying principle of how we get better at everything, getting ourselves out of our comfort zone. I grew up playing basketball, and I have an older brother that was 3 years older than me, and he would destroy me on the basketball court. And that's how I got better, because I was always playing against better competition. So let's get right to it. We're going to be using the speed reading tool. This is a free speed reading tool that you can use for these exercises, and it's called AccelaReader. If you go to AccelaReader.com, spelled like that, that's where you can find it. And we're going to take some sample reading material from The Onion. So we're going to read this article right here. No kill shelter. Can't promise there won't be, shall we say, unfortunate accidents. And this is a very short article, so all we're going to do here is we're going to copy the text, we're going to paste it into the program, we're going to click begin, and then the default on this program is 300 words per minute. That's what we'll start with. In previous videos, when we did these speed reading exercises, we were doing 2 or 3 at a time, words. We're going to do 4 in this video. And we're going to go initially at 300 words per minute. So let's try it out. Focus your attention in the middle. You'll see the words blinking on the screen. And one other setting I want to direct your attention to that I think you should always have set over here is this one right here. In fact, I think in a future update, we're going to make this a default setting. Start new chunk at the end of sentences and paragraphs. So let's set that up. Focus your attention in the middle. We're going to read this article, this silly article right here. Here we go. Okay, so that was 300 words per minute. You may have noticed that sometimes the line will break. For example, I'm just going back a little bit here. You see how that breaks into 2 lines? If you don't want that to happen, one of the things you can do is change the settings, and you can change the font size to something a little bit smaller, or if you want, you can make the window width a little bit wider. Okay, I'm going to make the font size just a little bit smaller. Maybe that will correct. There we go. I'm going to go back to the beginning. To restart, we're just going to hit the R key. Now remember what we said earlier. We were doing an exercise where we read first, 300 words per minute, and now we're going to do a drill at double the speed. So let's bump it up to 600. As you can see, the keyboard shortcuts on the bottom here, we could use the up and down arrow keys to increase our speed or decrease. And I'm just going to hit the up arrow key to change that a few times to 600 words per minute. Now we've already read this article at 300. Now we're just skimming what we just read. And this is part of the training. This is part of the reason why we do these kind of speed reading exercises. Let's try it out. Here we go at 600 words per minute. All right, so that was 600. Let's change things up. Let's go to another article right here. Toddler cites freedom of choice and refusal to use potty. Okay, we're going to copy that text here, and we're going to paste it into the program. I'm going to hit the N button, the N key for new text here, and we're just going to paste that in. We're going to hit begin. I'm going to change the speed. Earlier we read 300 and did a 600 word a minute drill. Now we're going to do 400 words per minute reading, and then we'll do an 800 words per minute drill right after that. And then we'll go to 500. But right now let's do 400. So dropping the speed down to 400. Try your best to read and understand the material. We're going to be going 4 words at a time. So here we go. Okay, 400 words a minute. Now let's do an 800 word a minute drill. So I'm changing the speed to 800. I'm going to hit the R key to restart. And let's fly through this at 800 words per minute. Here we go. Okay, 800. Now, let's take one more article. This is going to be our final drill. We're going to read this at 500 words per minute. Dollar dangling from fishing line sure does look enticing. Okay, so same as usual, just highlighting the text, pasting it into the program. We're going to read. Now remember, we just read at 400 and did an 800 word a minute drill. Now we're going to do 500 words per minute, and then we'll do a 1,000 word a minute drill. So let me drop the speed down to 500. Try your best to read and understand this. And even if it's hard to understand, it's still good exercise to get yourself out of that comfort zone. Like we've said before, that's how we make progress, right? So here we go, 500 words per minute. Okay, let's do now 1,000. So notice we're just alternating between reading and drilling, reading and drilling. Back to the beginning, here's 1,000 words per minute. Okay, so if you've made it this far, very good. That was a number of drills. Like we said, the way we practice and keep our mind sharp and maybe train our brain is by pushing ourselves out of the comfort zone. Even though we're taking, silly articles like this and this one right here and this one right here. If you're practicing this on your own, you can use your own articles, of course, to just copy and paste the text in there. But go at a speed that's appropriate. Maybe you feel comfortable reading at 200 some words a minute, or 300, 400, or 5 or more. So find that comfort level. Of course, that depends on the type of material. Also, I want to know from you if there are any other questions related to speed reading, memory, note-taking, or just generally productivity. All of this, I think, falls under the area of productivity. If we could learn to read faster, remember more, well, then we're being more productive with our studies if we're a student, or with just our ability to absorb information. If you're a working professional or an entrepreneur and you're just trying to just gather and absorb as much information as possible, these are skills we want to sharpen. I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you're finding all these videos helpful. In fact, the reason why we're doing more and more of these is we're getting a lot of good feedback from the audience. So let us know what you want to see. Let us know what kind of questions you have in the comments below. You can also shoot me an email. My email is just paul@irisreading.com. Looking forward to hearing from you. Have a great rest of the day, and we will catch up soon. Take care.